Saudi Arabia has always denied any involvement in the 9/11 attack, but 15 of the 19 hijackers were Saudi citizens. Holly Williams is in Riyadh with more on the struggle against extremism there.
Saudi Arabia has long been criticised for school textbooks that denigrate non-Muslims and even justify violence against them. Now, say the authorities, the curriculum's been rewritten. School principal Hussein Al-Faifi told us the students are learning to live in peace with followers of other religions. It's part of a transformation in this conservative country aimed at promoting so-called moderate Islam. Extremist preaching's been banned. Women have greater freedoms, including finally being given the right to drive. And on television, this popular historical drama, Haroon, recently showed Muslims, Christians and Jews living in harmony. In Saudi Arabia, it's nothing short of radical. The Saudi Arabian government has always denied any involvement in the 9/11 attacks. But the 15 Saudi hijackers were citizens of a closed-off Islamic kingdom. And some believe that religious fundamentalism here helped radicalise them. At this antiques market in Riyadh, the Saudi capital, many of the men are still getting used to the changes. Just a few years ago, women couldn't walk the streets without covering their head. Now the country's trying to entice foreign tourists.
Before, when we go out, when they see a Muslim, they said it is tourist. When they come here, they say different thing. They see different things.
People used to think you were a terrorist.
Yes, but now when they came here and see the people, nice treatment.
Saudi Arabia's reforms are limited. This country is not a democracy and the regime is widely criticised for its human rights record. But 20 years after the September 11th attacks, the Saudi authorities hope that creating a more liberal society will help stamp out violent extremism.
Latest news, Saudi Arabia. Headliner, Saudi woman jailed for 45 years over social media use. Another Saudi Arabian woman has been sentenced to decades in prison by the kingdom's terrorism court for using social media to violate the public order, according to court documents seen by a human rights group. Noura bint Saeed al-Qahtani was sentenced to 45 years in prison after a specialized criminal court convicted her of using the internet to tear Saudi Arabia's social fabric, according to the documents that were obtained and reviewed by Democracy for the Arab World Now, or known as Dawn, an organization founded by Jamal Khashoggi. Dawn shared its findings, which it said were verified by Saudi sources, with The Guardian. Few details are known about Qahtani, including her age or the circumstances around her arrest and conviction. But the news of her decades-long sentence comes weeks after Salma al-Shabab, a 34-year-old PhD student at Leeds University and mother of 2 children, was convicted and sentenced to 34 years in prison after she returned home to Saudi for a holiday break. Court documents in Shabab case revealed that she had been convicted for the alleged crime of following the Twitter accounts of individuals who caused public unrest and destabilized civil and national security. In some cases, she retweeted tweets posted by dissidents in exile. Shabab told the Saudi court she had faced abuse and harassment during her detention, including being subjected to interrogations and to being given medications that exhausted her. In Qahtani's case, Saudi authorities appear to have imprisoned her for simply tweeting her opinions, said Abdullah Al-Du, the director of the Gulf region at Dawn. Headliner, video shows police chasing and beating woman at Saudi Arabian orphanage. Leaked video reportedly showing Saudi security services brutally assaulting a group of women at an orphanage in Saudi Arabia's southwest has prompted outrage online and a promise by the government to investigate the incident. The video, first posted on Twitter on Tuesday by a woman who filmed the attack, showed dozens of men dressed in security uniform and others in Saudi national dress, chasing women, beating them with wooden sticks, and lashing them with leather belts. The video then shows a man dragging one of the women by her hair as she screams, while another beats her with a belt. The orphanage is located in Khanis Mushat, a city in the Yasir province, some 884 kilometers from the capital, Riyadh. In response to the video, the governor of the province, Turk bin Talal bin Abdulaziz, ordered the formation of a committee to investigate all parties of the incident and refer the case to the competent authority. The video has gone viral on social media with the hashtag Khanis Mushat Orphans trending in Saudi Arabia on Wednesday. Saudi human rights advocates denounced the video as mere evidence of the Saudi government's suppression of women's rights in the kingdom under the rule of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Since becoming the kingdom's de facto ruler in 2017, the Crown Prince has overseen a widespread crackdown on dissent, despite promoting himself as leader of liberal reforms. The crackdown has targeted members of the political opposition, the Shia minority, as well as female activists who call for an end to the discriminatory policies and social practices against women. And that's the latest news, and now my thoughts. And for those who still think that Saudi Arabia is continuing to reform, this was an argument used going as far back as King Khalid 40 years ago. The country cannot reform when its essence is built on the Wahhabi ideology, founded by Muhammad ibn Abdul al-Wahhab, with the creation of the first Saudi state called the Emirate of Diriyah in 1744. That partnership still continues on today, with Saudi Arabia being the sole monarchy in the Arab region. Its power comes from the United States, who regulates the oil market, and knowing full well that they have other competitors who can vie for power and to regulate the oil market, such as Russia and Great Britain. The United States will tend to look the other way or create legislation that favors this brutal monarchy, similar to its sister state, Israel. The Saudi lobby, which provides millions and millions of dollars to the coffers of those in the Democratic and Republican parties, continue to manipulate these people who allegedly are supposed to work for us. And as long as you keep voting for these people, they will not represent you. They will represent the people like Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, a brutal murderer, an absolute monarchist, and an egotistical maniac whose only sole wish is to destroy the Shia minority and have itself as the regional power of the Sunni school of thought in the Arabian Peninsula. There's nothing we share in common with these people. And even though Biden 2 months ago had made several promises that were in line of his predecessor Obama, withdrawing from the Middle East and focusing instead on China, in which he promised a return to the nuclear deal with Iran, to end the war in Yemen, and to treat Saudi Arabia as a pariah, he reversed those promises. In his first week in office, Biden gave $1 million deal, hundreds of millions, in weapons to Saudi Arabia, which was used in the Yemen crisis. And even though he allowed for a report from the CIA to be released, which showed that Saudi Arabia and Crown Prince bin Salman were behind the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, Biden continues to protect the kingdom from a civil suit by the victims' families of September 11, 2001. Ladies and gentlemen, what does that tell you about the United States federal government and the government of Saudi Arabia? Neither one do you owe their allegiance to, and neither of them have ever showed an allegiance to you, the common people, and that includes myself. And with the failure to revive the nuclear deal with Iran, coupled with the Russia invasion of Ukraine, the Biden administration had to change its priorities. And according to a Carnegie Endowment for International Peace article, quote, against this backdrop, Biden prioritized finding alternatives to Russian energy sources. He approached Venezuela considering allowing more oil to flow from Iran and contacted Mohammed bin Salman and Mohammed bin Zayed, the president of the United Arab Emirates, in an attempt to convince them to increase oil production, in which the first two strategies did not provide fruitful, and reports indicate that Mohammed bin Salman and Mohammed bin Zayed refused to take Biden's calls, end quote. What does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? That even a corrupt and morally lethargic kingdom of Saudi Arabia doesn't answer to the all-powerful, all-knowing United States, because the real power belongs with them. They know the United States will come begging to control the oil market and not to make superpowers of their competitors in like China or Russia or Great Britain. The United States will sell its soul to the highest bidder, absolving Saudi Arabia of their crimes of the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks, if need be.